dish would probably be the bolognese.
That sounds good.
It's beautiful. We make it with split steak and two other steak cuts. After that, I would probably do arroz buco and veal milanese for the mother-in-law, father-in-law to be, and then end it with probably the creme brulee or Texas chocolate soup, which is unbelievable.
I gotta tell you, I think everybody here this morning is getting hungry just listening to it. Okay, before we let you go, I've got a trivia question, all right? Don't anybody here in the audience shout it out. How many people are out here, Trevor?
Oh, man, there's at least 50.
And they're all safe social distances. We're actually, I don't know.
Wireless.
Oh, it's
So
great.
we're good, right?
Oh, yeah.
The health department doesn't need
So
to.
you should
Yeah,
says it around.
$55 gift card to one of my favorite places on La Brea. It's called Huntington Meats and Sausage. It's at the farmer's market. And here's today's trivia question. And nobody shouted out. And you'll probably know the answer. What is the only bread that you boil before you bake? What is the wait a minute, he's shaking his head. What is the only bread you boil before you bake? My phone number is 626-765-7543. 626-765-7543. If you know the answer, text me or call me right now, and we'll pick somebody randomly to get that $75 to the Huntington Meat and Sausage Company in Farmers Market. Arlie, thanks for stopping by. What is the website and all that good stuff?
MiPiace.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can follow us on that. Please come in, have a drink or two or three, and enjoy lunch, dinner, and breakfast and soup.
We want you to enjoy it. It's Peter Rose. It is Sunday morning. Go Country 105. Don't touch that dial. I'll repeat the trivia question when we come back. Bob Michelle is here. I just saw the talkies just walked in. I've got my pet keys and I've got my It's Peter Rose. It's Go Country 105.
Hi, this is DJ Thomas, and you're listening to Peter Deals on Go Country 105.
Where's the best place to buy your meats for home cooking? The Taco Butcher. For a 50 brand of beef, it's easy. It's Harris Ranch. The first discovered Harris Ranch at Springfield many years ago at an award-winning restaurant in Coalinga in Fresno County. Hi, everybody. It's Peter Dills, and when I'm barbecuing at home with friends, it's always Harris Ranch beef. The cattle are raised right here in California. Talk about local, California grown. That's Harris Ranch. Harris Ranch has been ranching here in California since 1937, delivering the cuts of beef locally. This gourmet beef is available at many fine butcher shops, including Huntington Meats at the Farmers Market and Jim's Ballpark Market in Woodland Hills. Truly, for a restaurant experience at home, I recommend Harris Ranch beef. Always fresh, raised, and very fresh. There's a complete list of restaurants and dishes that carry the Harris Ranch label, and cooking with HarrisRanchBeef.com. Make sure you stop by the ranch and tell them Peter Dills sent you. Friends, you know, I know a good deal when I hear one. This is Peter Dills for Longo Lexus. The golden opportunity sales event is going on right now at Longo Lexus. You can get 0% APR financing on all new 2020 Lexus models with over 500 new and used vehicles in stock. They have the perfect Lexus for you. Shop them online at longolexus.com. That's longolexus.com. And don't forget to listen to my show each and every Sunday morning right here on Go Country 105. You know, some combinations are just meant to go together. Burger and fries, washer and dryer, online dating. At State Farm, there's another combination that goes great together. Home and auto, as in combining your home and auto insurance with one agent, which leads to another combination, which I like, saving dollars and cents. Your State Farm agent is T.G. Metzger. He's here to help life go right. Combine home and auto and see how much you can save. Call him right now. T.G. Metzger, 626-445-1500. It's Peter Dills. We're back from the break. At 9 o'clock this morning, the lovely L'Oreal will be playing America's greatest country hits. All right, this date in history, George Bernard Shaw, the Irish playwright, was born. You will find many food-related quotes from his works on food in the reference website. Quote, "There is no love sincerer than the love of food." Also in this date in history, 1922, wow, that's a long time ago, Blake Edwards was born, American film director and producer. Among his films were Day of Wine and Roses, and of course, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
there's our little trivia, this date in history. And we're going to be celebrating a certain date today, but I can't give it out because it's actually the answer of our trivia question. So for the $75 gift card to Huntington Meats and Sausage in the Farmers Market, downtown LA, what is the only bread you actually boil before you bake? What is it? Give me a call, 626. I'm gonna remember this number pretty soon, Turtle. You know, of all the radio stations I've been at, I've never given out the wrong call signals. So that's pretty impressive on my part. 626-765-7543, 626-7543. I've got one pet peeve. Try to keep this positive. But my pet peeve is I was at the 99-cent store just this week. Now you're thinking to yourself, Peter, you big shot here. What are you doing at the 99-cent store? Why don't you have smart finance, pavilions, and bonds? So I needed a paintbrush because I got new floorings, and I got the board floor that needs to be like cleaned and painted. So I thought, stop by the 99-cent store. I got one item in my basket, and this lady, I gotta admit, she was there before I was, maybe a second there before I was. Girl, she had 40 things. I'm not exaggerating. You know I'm exaggerating on the show. She had 40 things in her basket. She had plastic cups. She had
The floor is wrong.
this.
When you're
Playing at UCLA, playing a basketball, a leather basketball, you probably $10 then with John Wood. All right. Anyway, so she didn't even turn around on me and say, "Oh, you only have one item. Would you like to go in front of me?" No, she had it in the basket. So that's my pet peeve. So let's have some fun. Let's talk about it. That's what we're here for. Let's toast. Let's have some tapping. Let's not waste tapping with a mimosa orange juice. How dare you ever put orange juice in good shape? So my friend Bob, the show, I call him the wine guy. And it's a moment in time, the wine guy. And Bob, I'm going to let you take it over from here. Because you know what you're talking about. Get a little closer to that. And if you don't get that,
So the assignment was to talk about screw cap, wines with screw caps versus cork. Why, how, etc. So I'll take a couple of minutes and we'll kind of get into it. I think most people of my age, maybe a younger generation, remember that up to about 2000, most wines that came in screw caps were Hurricanes, wines, fairly expensive generic wines. Chardonnay, Burgundy, Rosé, things like that. Maybe $3.99, $4.99 for a half gallon. Well, around 2004, 2005, something called TCL started to become pretty prevalent and amplified in corks. And what that TCL is trichloral anisole, and it's a it attacks wood. And so what happened was, because of the banana wood, cork trees were being harvested at a younger rate because of the demand, and as a result of that, there was more cork infected with this TCA. In fact, in 2005, it got as high as 7% of all wine produced had this problem. And what this disease of the cork causes, it makes the wine kind of nasty odor, musky, like a wet cellar, wet dog, wet newspaper. And it's called scent, and/or if you use the Davis, it's called tainted wine. So from that point on, the wine industry had a big dilemma. 7%, 5% to 7% is a lot of wine, and the economic side to it was huge because of the cost of cork. You can imagine. So, for wines from varietals which were lighter, mostly white wines like Sauvignon Blancs or non-oak Chardonnays as an example, or Rieslings, if it's not German, or Alsatian, but from California, And from Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, Marlborough, all of a sudden, we started to see Stelvin finishes, which is a screw cap. Remember, the bottle also has to be specifically made for the screw cap. So all of a sudden, quality wines of higher quality, were elevated to the screw cap. You know what I mean, Turtle?
Oh, I
You
mean,
following me on this?
I'm a fan of the screw cap only because I don't have to carry around a corkscrew.
Yeah, right. It's a lot easier and faster. So what happened was, it took about 8 years, 9 years of science, and to reduce the amount of TCA and the disease corks. So by around 2013, the disease problem on corks dropped below 1.2%. In fact, that's where it is today. But for those wine drinkers out there, you'll remember from about 2003 to all of a sudden you're seeing synthetic corks, which are not cork.
I was just going to
Okay.
ask you, is there an alternative
Yes.
to a cork?
Yes.
And is it,
It's synthetic cork.
does
which,
it work?
Yes, it works. But here's the downside. The downside is that in wine, fine wine, you need ullage. Ullage is the airspace between the wine in the bottle and the top of the closure, whether it be a cork, synthetic cork, and or screw cap. So what happens is the oxygen diminishes. And as the oxygen diminishes, because it's not flowing through a normal cork, which is a membrane through diffusion, what happens is that there are flavors and compounds in wine with a screw cap or a synthetic cork that become amplified. For the most part, it's no big deal, but it can become a problem. In this case, it's called sulfurization, where sulfur is a product that's used in wine, and it also is a natural occurring product, organic, that is in wine, and so that could be amplified. So just because you have a screw cap doesn't mean you may have a perfect odor, a perfect scent, a perfect ambient flavor to the wine. You can have a problem. But with inexpensive wines, it's a different thing. But when you get to screw cap wines, they tend to be pretty good because they'll be drunk now and early. Right, Turtle? Just the way you drink.
Don't ask him any questions.
I love it.
Don't ask Turtle. The little sound that we do, we were talking about beef stroganoff a couple weeks ago, and I told him it was Count Pavel Stroganoff that invented the stroganoff, and his response was, I bet he was good with numbers.
I bet he would.
I bet he was good with numbers. That's Bob Michero. He is the wine guy for for Peter Dills here on Go Country 105. So the screw top, you're saying, is
The
acceptable.
big ink is a vicious SUV.
I'm thinking about the supermarket. Like I'm thinking of like the second row at Avon's, like Josh and J. Lore and stuff like that.
right.